Let's talk about the men's Rumble now. We've mentioned Sami already, and he's in the running in terms of there's 3 or 4 names I think people are talking about with this Rumble. I know everyone thinks Cody. It's his big comeback. They've said it on the show. He's coming back. He's on all the signage.
By the way, how do you feel about that? Would you have rathered a surprise? I kind of would have rathered a surprise.
But is there a point sometimes, particularly with Cody, right? Everybody knew the second it was a sort of 6-7 month injury, they know that they want him for WrestleMania, right? So he was always going to come back.
But don't you think it would have been a little bit better
if we do get a surprise?
Yeah, sure. I guess
well.
you can. I like the surprises. I don't like when we know who's going to be in the Rumble. I don't want to know a single person. I want to sit there and be like, oh, are they even putting Sami Zayn in the Rumble? We don't even know for sure, right?
Well, yeah, we literally don't know. How many have been announced? Maybe 10?
10 to 15-ish?
Yeah.
Maybe a little less than 15. I like when it's all a surprise. There was even a period where we were finding out the numbers, like the entrance numbers before, and I didn't like that as well. We're not doing that now, which is good. But if I'm nitpicking, very happy that Cody is back. Don't get me wrong. I think it would have been cool, 3, 2, 1, and his music hits and people go crazy. Those are the moments we live for.
Yeah. I'm going to give a shout out to Seth Rollins as well, by the way, who I think he's kind of verged into babyface territory now, which is when he does face off with Cody at some point, which you think will happen given how Cody got injured in the feud they were having. The way that works out, the dynamic between those two is going to be interesting because Seth's so popular. I mean, people can't stop singing his song while he wrestles. Yeah. Cody's going to be coming back as the returning hero. And also still like a relatively fresh thing on WWE screens, even though we saw him all those years ago. He had his comeback, went away again. And sometimes when they go away, it's so much better when they come back as well. But then there's the Sami factor.
Yeah, those two aren't the right answer. There's only one right answer, and it is Sami Zayn. That arena, that stadium, that dome will go crazy if he wins. And we have right now the second coming of Daniel Bryan a few years ago, the second coming of Kofi Kingston a few years ago. One of those stories where it's a veteran who has been around for a while that the crowd all of a sudden has this intense emotional attachment towards. Now, different than Bryan and Kofi, where Sami's not getting necessarily screwed over week after week. He doesn't have to go through a gauntlet, but at times mistreated, trial, almost like took him out. We want to see him prevail. We want to see him get over, so to speak. And I just think that moment is too good to pass up. And I really do think that anything other than a Sami Zayn victory will be a letdown. If Sami Zayn doesn't win the Rumble on Saturday, we riot. I put it out there. That's the one I want to see. And it has nothing to do with the fact that we're both from Montreal. We're both proud Montrealers. He deserves it. He has earned it. This has been the best story in wrestling, the best story of the past year.
For a long time.
Right.
9 months has this story been going on with
really,
Sami?
like, if we're going to judge WrestleMania to WrestleMania or Rumble to Rumble, right, 2022 to 2023, what has been better than Sami and the Bloodline? Nothing. Nothing has even come close. The payoff would be so good. And then think about all the permutations. If he wins, he could still be a part of the Bloodline, and now it's awkward. And Roman's like, are you going to wrestle me? After everything I've done for you, you're going to now challenge me? And then he has to decide. And then one day he turns on Roman. Maybe he turns on Roman. And then think about all the great things that they could do. It's so perfect. I just hope they pull the trigger on it.
With the obstacle, of course, of the Bell Center, Montreal Elimination Chamber, bang in the middle of the two events.
It's beautiful. It's almost like they planned it. It's very rare when the town is a part of the story, when it's woven into the story. It's very, very rare when that happens. It was part of the story in Cardiff, right? Drew, UK, 92, the anniversary. But it's rare. Like, there's no connection to San Antonio. It's a great town. It's a great arena. It's going to be awesome. There was, last year we had St. Louis, Randy Orton, but it's rare. You get what I'm saying? Especially at the top of the bill. And now we have Montreal. We have Kevin Owens. We have Sami Zayn. He's at the cusp of becoming champion, or at least challenging for the belt and being in the main event of WrestleMania. It's too good to pass up. And I originally thought, by the way, it was going to be Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn against the Usos, and they'll be the ones to dethrone them. The story's gone too big now. We got to go higher. We got to go for Roman Reigns.
Yeah, you said it's almost like they planned it. You couldn't plan it. It's so freakishly organic, which is exactly the same as the Daniel Bryan, Kofi Kingston situation. I know the stories are different, but it's that you can feel it every night. You can feel it.
I love that.
And it's been the same for a long time now. It just has to happen. Something big has to happen.
Yes. It will feel, unfortunately, like a bit of a letdown. And he's going to be involved in WrestleMania, even if he doesn't win this. But, man, I just keep thinking about what the pop would be like. And then all the different angles that can happen as a result of him winning. Please, sign me up.